We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike and she's Sophie.
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
And he's Grogu, and we're on the road with Mickey. This is episode 120 for May 2nd, 2022, and our feature topic is the lands of the Magic Kingdom. This is part one of a two-part series. We are looking at each of the lands, and each one of us is taking one, and we are um, going to tell 10 things that we love about that land. Um,
And
Originally, we were going to do five,
yeah.
and we started writing them and coming up with them, and we were like, five is way too short. So 10 is what we went with. So
Yep.
this is part one, and um, Sophie is going to look at Fantasyland. Brenda is going to look at Liberty Square, and I'm going to look at Adventureland. So, part two next week, we'll cover the other three.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
before we get going, we've got some cheddar from the big cheese, and Brenda, you're starting us off.
Well, we have something going on at Disneyland. Disneyland is introducing a new Disneyland After Dark party. The first ever party is called Disneyland After Dark Grad Night Reunion, and it's happening on June 23rd, June 28th, and June 30th, 2022. This reunion party will be filled with dancing, fun, and plenty of nostalgia from graduation classes the last 6 decades. It is taking place at Disney's California Adventure Park. Will you be attending? Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us
Exactly.
know. We
Yeah.
want to know, and we want
At
to know how you like it if you go.
Yeah, at first I thought you were asking me, Aunt Brenda, and I
Are you
was like,
going?
no, unfortunately, I don't think so.
No.
Well, I can tell you that Dad and I have, well, and you have all graduated in the last 6 decades, so we could go.
We
Yeah, we
could.
could.
But we're going to be a little busy on June 23rd still, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be having our own party and it's gonna be better.
Party, party.
Yep. All right. Sophie,
All right.
go for
Well,
it.
of course, this is huge news for me. You all know how much I love my Loungefly bags. Had I taken the time to read the cheese before I got started today, I would have had my Loungefly bags with me, ready to show you. But I just have to share with you the newest Disney collection that came out, and it is based on the 1950s animated film Peter Pan. And
Yay.
there is a picture that we want to share, possibly. So
Yep.
take a look at this picture of Big Ben from the movie, as well as this lounge fly of Nana.
Oh my God, they are
Aww.
so cute.
I love the Big Ben one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
I like that
it.
one too. And it's got the
Yeah.
Yeah.
clock hands. You can move the clock.
Oh,
Wait,
I love
really?
that.
It looks like it, doesn't
I
it?
am I am a lounge
You know
fly
what? It
collector also, and
does.
this one is awesome.
It does. And here I was thinking that my next lounge fly would be a Stitch one. I think I want this one instead.
Really
Yeah.
cute.
So, so anyway, if you're not watching us on YouTube, check out the YouTube channel. Check out this episode so you can see that picture. But you know what? I will also post it in the On the Road with Mickey group so people can see it as well. Um,
Yeah.
Yay.
and then lastly, this coming Sunday is Mother's Day. So, Aunt Brenda, Sophie, and I want to wish you a very, very, very happy Mother's
Oh,
Day.
thank you so
Happy Mother's
much.
Day.
And we want to wish it also to Cindy, of
Yep.
course,
Yep.
and to my mom, so Sophie's Mima,
And
Yep.
to Aunt Sheila.
and to Aunt Sheila,
And my
and
mom?
to Brenda's mom, and to
Yeah.
everyone else that has been like a mother figure to us. We want to wish everyone
Yay.
out there a very happy Mother's Day, and we
Happy
hope
Mother's
that
Day.
the mothers out there have a wonderful day. So,
Thank you. Happy
Thank
Mother's Day,
you.
y'all.
Happy Mother's Day, Aunt Brenda.
Thank you.
So,
All right.
and Sophie, you're kind of like Grogu's mom. So he says Happy
He's
7
Mother's Day.
years
older than
older.
me. He
Yeah, I
is
know,
older than
but
me.
he's smaller than you. So
Yep.
there you go.
Love is love.
Love is love, exactly.
Does that mean, because we all know that Mando is the father, does that mean that I'm
No,
married to the Mando?
no,
No.
What? He's cute enough.
yeah, but no.
I'm never gonna have a family.
Sure
Oh,
you will. That'll
not
happen
with
one day.
him.
Not with you.
Okay, so moving on. It is time to talk about our feature topic, our Lands of the Magic Kingdom Part 1.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we are splitting it up into 2 weeks. And this week we're looking at Liberty Square, Fantasyland, and Adventureland. And Sophie, I am giving you the ball. You are going first. And let's just go round table, round around, and um, and we'll just go around and each one give one, and we'll just kind of circle back around each
Yep.
time.
Like
Sound
Prince
good?
Charming's carousel, which is
There
not
you
on my
go.
list.
There you go. But like that analogy, yes, very
Yeah.
good analogy.
All
So,
right. Well, I don't have any particular order for these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go straight on down the list.
okay.
And the first thing on my list is that, and we're talking about the things that we love about each one in case anybody didn't hear that right away. And the first thing on my list is that this park, this land, Fantasyland, was my favorite as a child. I love Liberty Square. Everyone knows that, but that was not always the case because for anyone that knew me in elementary school, I hated history class until we finally got to the American Revolution and I realized, hey, wait a minute. This is a story. I like stories. And what makes it even cooler is that this actually happened. And after that, it kind of just clicked and history became my favorite subject ever. But until that happened, which was in about 3rd grade or something, until that happened, I could not stand history. And so Liberty Square was probably my least favorite up until that point because I was a misguided child.
Okay.
Not to discredit Fantasyland. Fantasyland is awesome no matter how old you are.
Exactly. Okay. So it was your childhood favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, good answer, Sophie. Good
Thank
answer.
you. Thank you. Aunt Brenda?
Well, I am focusing on Liberty Square today, and there's kind of 3 categories I am focused on: food, location, and symbols of patriotism, of course. So the first one being food because consider
I'm
the
a
source.
foodie.
Food.
We're
Definitely food.
foodies.
So my it's not my number one. I mean, they're all rated the same, but my first thing to talk about is Columbia Harbor House because that is my
Oh,
favorite quick service at Magic Kingdom.
Oh
oh
my gosh,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Yeah.
love Columbia Harbor House.
Do they serve fish and chips at Columbia Harbor House? It's been so long since I've been there.
Yes, they do.
They
And they
do?
have
Good.
lobster rolls too. They have a lot of different things, but their food is really good and there's a lot of
Yeah.
places to sit, especially upstairs.
They
So I
tweak the
really like to.
menu. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say they tweak the menu slightly where you can't just order fish and chips. You have to order like their basket or whatever, and it's fish and chips and also like chicken tenders and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you can definitely get your fish there,
Yep, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good.
and it is good.
So that's it for my number one. That was short and sweet, wasn't it?
Yes, it
One thing
was.
I like about Columbia Harbor House is how um On one side, you've got the Liberty Square
Yep, and that's
entrance.
like that's about my number 9 down there.
Oh, am I taking one of you?
Go ahead, I'll just skip it.
No,
No, no, no,
no.
no.
Zip, zip, zip. We don't
I can
steal
skip it.
from people here. That's
we don't
entirely
talk about Brenda's choices. No, no, no.
We don't talk about Brenda. No, no, no. We don't talk about Brenda.
Oh my
We love
God.
you, Aunt Brenda, but that's
He's
the
got it.
entire reason that we chose different lands. And that's the
Yeah.
entire reason that I let you have Liberty Square, because
And
we
I
all
really
know.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we all know that I could have been selfish and said I wanted Liberty Square, but
Yeah.
I always talk about Liberty Square, so it's time for you to have your exclusive 10 from Liberty Square and not have one of us steal it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Daddy, before we go and steal any more of what Brenda has to say, let's go on to you.
Okay. So, I when I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking about the rides that are in the land that I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Adventureland. I mean,
Yeah.
how can you have a land with no rides? The only one I know of is Main Street USA. Um, so, but that's next week. So for me, the first one I want to say is that Adventureland, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
That's a
Pirates
good
of the
one.
Caribbean is where it's at. It's one of the best rides in the whole park, and it lives in Adventureland, as everyone knows.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah. I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah, and I have a
It's a
couple
good one.
other things down the road that tie into Pirates just a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
cool.
because it's kind of it's an immersive land, you know? So there's things that also play off of it, you know?
Pretty cool.
So, so that's my first one.
Yep. All right. Guess that's me and it's my turn
That's
again.
you.
It's your turn again.
All right. Well, again, I don't have the same mindset as Aunt Brenda or as my dad, just because they are focused on different things around their lands. But me, I'm just focused on anything that comes to mind. I wouldn't even say I'm actually focused. I just list what came to mind, and I actually had more, but I'm going to stop for the purpose of us all having 10.
Okay. So
And
what's
so
number 2?
so the next thing on my mind is actually a ride. It's a Small World.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love It's a Small World. And
So do I.
admittedly, the one in Disneyland I do like better, but that does not discredit the one in Actually, I know it's implied that we're talking about Disney World here, but technically there's Fantasyland in both Disneyland and Disney World, so I could talk about the Disneyland It's a Small World. And in that
True.
case, I am. Because the thing that I like the most about the Disneyland It's a Small World is the fact that it has characters from the Disney movies in all the different scenes of the ride. Like in the
Yes.
Middle Eastern section of the ride, you have Jasmine and Aladdin flying on the carpet, and you can tell which one is theirs because it also has the genie's lamp on that magic carpet.
Yeah.
There's Ariel, there's Cinderella, there's Alice in Wonderland. There are all these different characters, and it's so amazing to just find them as you're going through the ride.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
I
right.
agree.
That is the biggest point of difference between the two rides.
Definitely.
And that is the coolest thing about It's a Small World at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Um, my
I
my personal preference though is the Disney World one. I think because we can experience it more often, more
yeah.
readily, And so for me, that's why. And I've got the nostalgia of being there in the 70s when it was there.
Yeah,
So,
I do like it for that too, but
but you're
there's
right. The
if they
characters and the having the movie characters in there
Yeah.
is really cool.
It adds so
yeah,
much. Yeah.
come to think of it, if they actually found a way to add the movie characters into the It's a Small World ride at Disney World, then it would become the perfect ride, I think.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't
So,
mind it.
Disney, we know you're listening.
I think they're intentionally keeping it different.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I
Because
know.
you don't want the parks to become cookie cutters of each other.
Yeah,
Because then people wouldn't they want something different at each of them so that you have that reason to go see the other ones.
Right. Right.
You
yeah.
know.
But I
So
wouldn't mind having a Cars Land.
no, I wouldn't either.
That'd
Oh,
be
I
pretty
would not
cool.
mind at all.
There's
Or
space for it.
or having is it Disneyland Paris where the castle has the dragon in the basement?
It
Yeah.
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
having that at Cinderella Castle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Make it a make it a walkthrough like at Sleeping Beauty Castle where you walk through to see the dragon and to see the storyline a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be cool.
Yeah. I do think it works in Disneyland Paris. However, there's not really a dragon in Cinderella's story. There's not a huge beast. There's only Lady Tremaine.
That's true. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're absolutely right on that.
Yep.
So it wouldn't work. So,
No. As cool as it would be.
It wouldn't work. You're right.
yeah. All right. So,
So I'm
Brenda,
back at food again.
all right.
I
Talk
see
about some
nothing wrong
food.
with that.
This
Me
one
neither.
is, people hear me say this pretty often, and I'm not ashamed of that at all. I'm happy to share that every time I'm on here. But the Liberty Tree Tavern, I'll say again, one of my favorite table service, consistently awesome food, consistently awesome service. That's another reason why I love Liberty Square.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that we got the Liberty Tree Tavern, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be
And
fun.
that's our reservation for June 18th.
So exciting.
We're eating at Liberty Tree Tavern, and so
Yay.
that'll be fun. That
Yes.
is a good meal any time of the year, but especially on Sophie's birthday.
That's right. Yay.
Or the day before Sophie's birthday.
Yay.
But that'll
All
be
right.
that'll be a good reservation. So for me, I'm sticking with rides for a little bit. And number 2 on my list is the Enchanted Tiki Room. It's not a ride, it's a show, but
It's a
I'm
good
taking
show.
I'm taking license and calling it a ride, even though it's not a ride.
Well, it's an attraction.
It's an attraction.
And they always say
yes.
ride/attraction.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And I like it because you have a great show, you have great music, you have the audio animatronics, you have a cool place if it's 85 million degrees
Yes.
in June, like it can be sometimes. And it's just where it's at. So Enchanted Tiki Room is number 2 on my list.
Awesome. Like it, Mike.
Thank you.
All right.
Sophie.
My turn again, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number
All right.
3.
And sticking with the childhood favorite here, we have Winnie the Pooh, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It has been a crime, in my opinion, that we have almost missed riding this ride our last few times at Disney because it always felt like an afterthought, and that's just not right.
Yeah.
Because this ride, it was my childhood. I love it to death. I loved it then. I love it now. And you just can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
Cute. It is so
Yeah.
cute.
We used to
Just like
get
the movie.
fast passes from the kiosk, the paper fast passes for many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and we would get an instant fast pass 9 times out of 10 for Mickey's PhilharMagic, or vice versa. I can't remember. Maybe it was the other way around. Um, and we would ride Winnie the Pooh easily 5 or 6 times in a day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know it's the same thing, but you bounce and you float
Yeah.
and you got the wind and you got the heffalumps and on and on and on and
I loved it,
at
and
the end
Daddy
of
loves
at
me.
the end of the thing, we'd all go hooray. you know? And
Look,
it didn't matter how old you were when you're
That's
riding
so
that
cute.
ride, you are a 4-year-old again,
Sweet.
regardless of your age.
yep.
Sweet.
So
Especially since I was never younger than 4 years old when I was at Disney.
yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
anyway, yeah, good choice,
Very
Sophie. You
sweet.
thank
know?
you.
Yay.
It's just an ode to how much a father loves his daughter.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love you too, Daddy.
I love you too, baby.
Yay. I love y'all too.
We love you
No.
too, Brenda. Feel the
Virtual
love.
group
Can you
hug.
feel the love tonight
Can
or
you though?
today?
Can you though? We can always feel it around here.
Yes.
Okay, I have my last food favorite. I think
Okay.
you can
Last.
guess what it is over there. My
Sleepy
Um.
Hollow.
Nutella waffle. Yes, the Nutella
Oh,
waffle that I like to have for
Sleepy
breakfast.
Hollow.
Wonder if I can have it now. Probably not, but whatever. The Nutella waffle's been my favorite breakfast treat forever. I mean, most people like the cinnamon roll, that big, huge cinnamon roll, but I love that Nutella waffle. Yummy. Over there
It's
at
the
Sleepy
funnel
Hollow.
cake for me. It's the
Sophie
funnel cake
loves
for
the
me.
funnel cake.
Ah,
Funnel cake is amazing.
well, you can get that there too.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
The best, the best. All right, that's my number
You
3.
know, it's so funny. The
What?
when Sleepy Hollow, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times because I obviously didn't keep a number, but I can't tell you the number of times we just blew by it because
Oh,
We never knew it was there.
we knew it was there, but inevitably there'd be 50 people in line.
yeah.
And
There gets a pretty long line, but it really moves fast, in my
yeah,
opinion.
but we'd
Yeah.
see it and we'd be like, "Come on, Sophie, we'll come back." So,
Oh
i.e.,
yeah.
me talking here.
And we never came back.
And we would never go back. And I'm like, now we've stopped there a couple times, and I'm like, how did we not do this? that
Oh, so
that funnel
good.
cake is so good, and Sophie always shares a little bit with me. So thank
Just
you,
a
Sophie.
little.
Sweet,
Just a little bit,
sweet.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a great place to get a good snack.
Yep. It's also a great place to get your free ice water.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good choice, Brenda. Good
Thank you.
choice.
All
What
right.
do you have, Mike?
So I am still in attraction/ride mode,
Okay.
That's okay.
and I am putting number 3 is the Jungle Cruise. There's so many reasons we don't ride the Jungle Cruise every trip, and that's okay with me. But we ride it enough that it's on my list, and I like it because it varies depending on the time of year. You might be getting the Jungle Cruise, or at Christmas you might get the Jingle Cruise. Um, I love it for the corny jokes. I like being able to see it during the day, and also seeing it at night is cool, you
Yeah.
know? And of course, I didn't bring it today. I should have brought it, but I've got my Jungle Cruise hat, which I will let you know my Jungle Cruise hat does repel the backside of water too,
Yep.
There you go.
and the
I've
front
seen it.
side of water.
Yep.
So,
I've seen it do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just a great it's an attraction I like, and I like that it's an Adventureland because it's an adventure. I haven't seen it since they changed it a little bit, so I want to see what those changes look like. So maybe I'll go ride it, and maybe I'll video it for YouTube. So,
Yay!
but Jungle Cruise on my list.
Great.
All right, I guess that means it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm not quite sure if this one counts, but if it doesn't count, then I also have another one, just in
It
case.
counts.
Well, it's not there anymore.
But it still
Oh.
counts.
That's true. I'm talking about the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because I know that it extends all throughout the park, or at least it extends in Fantasyland, Main Street USA, Adventureland, and I believe also in Liberty Square? I think
Or
so.
or Frontierland maybe, or so I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
Neither.
it's something that needs to be researched even though it's not there anymore. But when I had it, I played almost exclusively in Fantasyland because that's really all I had the opportunity to do. And unfortunately, it did close down before I got the chance to go back and play it all the way through. But I'm glad that I got into it while it was still there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a fun game. I always saw the mirror portals around, and I was always like, how does one interact with those? And it took me so long to figure it out because I thought it cost money, even though it's Disney and Disney's not going to charge you money to play a free game.
True.
But it piqued my curiosity, and when I finally got to try it, I had so much fun with it. So
Yeah.
that's what I like about Fantasyland, since that's the only place that I played it in.
Very good.
Yeah.
That adds a little extra fun to your trip.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know we didn't get into it until you got into it late when it was about to close, but
Yeah.
it's still a memory, and
Yeah.
it was something you loved about Fantasyland, so that's
Yeah.
why it counts. And
And
you
if it
know,
didn't count, then I was going to talk about the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
oh yeah, which you can't go wrong talking about Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
anyway, that the funny thing is that Chris from Billy's Closet of Magic really loves Sorcerers of Magic Kingdom.
I know. I
And
remembered him giving me a sorcerer's card one
yeah,
time as a gift.
and not only that, that was how the idea for the group kind of got started, was because he would complete the game, go over to like Pecos Bills or somewhere, just hang out, and he'd have his his folder of all the different cards he'd gotten, and he would trade or give out extras that he had to people that were needed a certain card,
Yeah.
so
Cool.
that's how that really got going with Billy's Closet of Magic, was just sharing extras, like giving out when we used to give out a fast pass we weren't going to use.
Yeah.
Here you go,
Yeah.
have a fast pass,
I miss
that
those
kind of
days
thing.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So but the cool thing is Chris has been able to keep doing that with other things as opposed to just with fast passes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what makes Disney Disney. So
That's right.
all right. So good selection, Sophie.
Yay.
Thank you. All
All
right,
right.
Aunt Brenda,
Oh,
your
I have
turn.
one more on my food list.
Good. You said the last time was your last one, but
You know
Well,
what?
I decided I'm going to add this just for anybody that doesn't know, because it is very, uh, I don't know how well known it is, but in case we have listeners that haven't been yet, I definitely wanted to say the snacks in the area at Liberty Square. My family can get the popcorn at the big popcorn cart, which also carries the hard to find popcorn buckets when they come out. So that's a place to find that. And my family can eat the popcorn, which of course Disney popcorn's delicious. But there's also a produce company there in Liberty Square where I can get, apples, oranges, fruit, fresh fruit.
Bananas.
There's
Oh
Ooh.
my
not very
gosh.
many fresh fruit places. So that's why I decided to go ahead and mention it, is because if you're looking
Yeah.
for fresh fruit for your family, the produce company over there in Liberty Square is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good selection. You know what's going to happen?
What?
Brenda is going to keep coming up with another food thing. And
No,
next thing we know, all 10 are food.
no, I'm done with
And
my
I'm
food
going to
now.
be completely fine with that because I love food.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
yeah, you
done
can
with the
tell I
food.
love food too.
But I'll just combine a couple of mine to make to end up being 10 still.
Oh,
I just decided I should mention that because especially because of my recent developments that I should tell people where they can get fresh fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you
Exactly.
go.
All right. Well, that's a very good one. And you're right. And um it's almost like its own little open air market,
It is. It's so
because it's
cute.
so huge and there's so
Yeah.
much to to grab there and get there and things like that. So
And there's
yeah.
little tables, so there's
Hmm.
not very many, but you can get one.
Yeah.
yeah.
So my next one is number 4 on my list is my last. Well, no, it's not entirely my last attraction thing, but um, as a full attraction, my last one is the Swiss Family Treehouse,
Ah,
which
you love
is
that.
an awesome attraction. It's a walkthrough, and it never has a line because no one really goes there that much anymore. But it's great because you get such unique views of the rest of the Magic Kingdom. Like I have pictures that I took from the top of the treehouse of Space Mountain, and Space Mountain is way on the other side of the park, and
Wow.
you can see it as if it's right there because you're high enough up. You can see it. So it's just a neat place to see unique, not very often seen areas. And of course, if I had one place I could spend the night at in the Magic Kingdom, I am sleeping in a hammock off the tree at the Swiss Family Treehouse.
Yeah.
That's where it's at, and hopefully I won't get eaten alive by bugs.
Hopefully not.
If you manage to get inside of that screened in area, you should be fine.
That's true. That's true, but it's a fairly big openings, so we'll see. But
There you
anyway,
go.
I would that would be like that would be a cool sleeping experience to sleep at the Magic Kingdom in the treehouse.
That would be cool.
That would be
Yeah, it would
so
be.
cool.
Well, shoot, if I had to choose a place in Fantasyland for me to sleep,
The castle. Hello.
actually, I'm not gonna say that.
Okay. How about
There is a
Snow White's
place.
cottage?
There's a place by the Winnie the Pooh ride that features Pooh Bear's house.
Mm-hmm.
I would
The
sleep in Pooh Bear's trees.
Sanders house.
Yeah, the Sanders
In the
house.
tree. The Sanders tree house. Yeah, the tree.
Cute.
Yep.
Cute.
All right. Well,
Number 5, Sophie.
yep. And I'm going to go with the fireworks from Fantasyland. I know that you're supposed to be seeing them from Main Street, but I think I like them better when I'm behind the castle in Fantasyland because there's not a big crowd of people there. You can just sit down, relax. You don't have to be shoulder to shoulder with everyone. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like, yeah, you don't see the projections up on the castle, but you still see the fireworks and you still hear what's going on. And I just think it's reminiscent of the old times at Disney where you didn't have the projections on the castle and it was just lights lighting up the castle in a certain way. And I really liked those. So I think I like it better when I'm behind the castle than when I'm in front of it.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's
A lot less crowded,
perfectly
huh?
okay. It is a lot less crowded. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right about that.
and that's
So,
why I like it so much.
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it's definitely a unique perspective. Even before it became with the projection show part added to it, it was a neat perspective to see it from there. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
all right, Brenda,
Well, I'm
number
jumping out of
5.
food and I'm going into location. Hello.
Hello.
So Liberty Square's right on the parade route. Hello. You can just sit there and watch the little cavalcades, the parades come right through there.
You're right.
Yep.
You're
So much
right.
fun.
Yeah. And
Great place to watch.
it's often a um it's often a really good place because most people are wanting to see the parades on Main Street. And so Main Street backs up quite a bit, or it
Yep.
gets a lot of people, whereas Liberty Square side isn't often as busy or as crowded
Yeah.
from that angle. And
Yep.
you see the exact same parade.
Yes. Exact same.
Or cavalcade or whatever.
Yep, you hear
So,
the exact same music, you see the exact same floats.
Yep.
Yep.
So, good
So
choice.
that's mine.
Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, like I said, as far as full attractions or shows go, Swiss Family Treehouse is the end of my attractions. But there is an element to an attraction that I think is so cool, and I think is so funny when you see it happen to unsuspecting guests.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, what am I talking about, Sophie?
You're talking about the camel at the flying carpets
You
of
know it.
Aladdin.
I'm talking about the spitting camel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll see people walk in, and then all of a sudden they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Because the water coming from the camel's mouth is just landing right on their head.
Yep. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it's you can't help but laugh. And the funny thing about it is it's always hot. So
Yeah.
when you get it, it's like all of a sudden you cool down for an instant. Um, but the spinning camel, I just think
Too
it's
funny.
hysterical.
It
It's
is.
just, I just think it's funny. So
It is fun to watch.
It's very fun to watch, and the most funny part about it is that there is a giant puddle of water where the camel's spit lands.
yeah.
So if you wanted to avoid it or if you were paying attention, you easily could.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
you know it's there.
And now if you're in Genie Plus mode, you need to make sure you know where it is. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
I have saved your
You're
cell phone.
welcome.
I've
Yeah.
saved your cell phone from getting drenched.
There you go.
So, but anyway, that's number 5 on my list.
Great. Great. What is your next one, Sophie?
All right, my number 6. My number 6 is actually the only snack that is on my list. And that would be the cinnamon donut holes from the Friar's Nook.
Oh.
When I had those, Daddy says they weren't all that impressive, but to me, they were the bomb.com. I loved them so, so much. And if I recall correctly, they came with this cup of like frosting. I think it was the cinnamon cream cheese frosting that cinnamon buns are drizzled in, and it was so good. And it was also good with like bacon and something, because we had this for breakfast at Easter
Mhm.
time. That's when we ate this.
Mhm.
It was so, so, so good. Oh my goodness, it was good.
How good was it, Sophie?
Good. It was delicious.
Oh, good.
Ah,
Well, that is a great choice, Sophie,
Thank you.
because it is one of your 10. And yeah, I thought for me, I felt like it had been cooked just a little too long, and I felt like I could taste like a smokiness to it. Like it was like a smoky burnt taste, but that's okay. My taste buds must have been off that day. Sophie said it was perfect, and that's what matters.
awesome.
All that matters is that if you don't like it, that means more for
You can
me.
have the rest.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. Gotta
All
share.
right. All right, Brenda, what do you got?
Well, I have a little ride.
Yeah,
Sophie probably knows about it.
I
She's probably
probably
ridden it.
do.
She's probably ridden it a time or two. And I guess if I had to sleep at Liberty Square, I might sleep out in the hearse.
Oh,
Out in the hearse.
yeah, the horseless hearse.
Yep, might have to.
All right. If
The
you don't
ride
mind it,
is the
maybe you
Haunted
do.
Mansion. Yep, love the Haunted Mansion. So that's definitely something to love, love in Liberty Square.
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I would be sleeping in the Haunted Mansion. I say that I would, but the odds are I would probably be partying with a midnight wake.
There you
Yeah, you
go.
probably would. At some point, you're going to crash, though. You know what you do? You get them to turn the audio off and get the doom buggies going,
Yeah.
and just sit in a doom buggy
They're so
and
hard
and
though.
and just relax up. Well, grab a pillow then, and just relax back, and just go through the attraction over and over
Yeah,
again
it would
until you're lulled
lull
to
you to
sleep.
sleep for sure.
Or you know
Yeah.
what? The best part I think would be if you just had them put you midway between going out of the attic window and getting into the graveyard, turn off the audio, stop the doom buggies, and then you could go to sleep because you're kind of laying back.
There you
That'd be
go.
better. Yeah, as long as I had a
Yeah,
pillow.
But I
yeah,
still
Yeah,
want to
that makes,
party.
yeah.
I
yeah.
want to
Well,
dance in a ball gown with the ghosts.
at
There you go.
3 a.m. though, you probably get tired.
Hmm,
You can come
maybe.
on over to Liberty Square and go on the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Fun,
Yeah.
fun, fun.
Anyway, so you know, I'm starting to get down into the weeds a little bit.
Oh, he's getting weedy.
So number 6 on my list is kind of I almost will I almost will say that you might even call this one lame a little bit,
Oh,
but I don't think of it lame. I think of it as advantageous. If you are in Adventureland and you need to get to the Country Bears in Frontierland, okay, take the walkthrough to Frontierland. Don't go all the way around to get to the same point when you could have walked 20 steps and been there.
yep.
So
Stop
for
by the
me,
restroom.
one of the things I love is the walkthrough to Frontierland, and there is a set of restrooms that are always popular.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, and I have a tip on that coming up a little bit later.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And it's not just throw your kid over by the train or the bushes or something and go there. That's not the tip.
Yeah.
But anyway, the walk through to Frontierland is a great shortcut to get from Adventureland to Frontierland and then on up Liberty Square and so forth without having to go so many steps around to get to it. So that to me is worth talking about. And so that's one
Yeah.
of the things I like is the walk through to Frontierland.
Great.
All right. Guess it's my turn again.
Yep.
All right. Well, this one also goes back to It's a Small World, and that's why we're sticking to separate lands. so that we don't step on each other's toes. I like sitting in Pinocchio's village house and watching the boats from It's a Small World through those windows.
Yeah.
And I know my dad likes it too because we used to wave at the people there all the time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they were probably the most desired seats in that entire
They are
restaurant.
the most desired seats, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I saw um, a new desired seat that I want to try at Pinocchio's Village House. Someone went upstairs and they have a porch and they were able to sit outside
Really?
looking over into Fantasyland, the walkway between It's a Small World and Peter Pan, and
Nice.
PhilharMagic. And I'm like, I gotta find that seat because that would be so cool.
Yeah, that would
So
be really
neat to
cool.
sit there. so
Yep.
so I want to see if I can find that spot.
Yep.
Even
Well,
if all I do is sit there and take a picture.
actually, you know what? There is one other seat that is extremely coveted inside of the Pinocchio Village House, and it's actually a seat that I have still not been able to find.
What's
But
that?
it's a seat near this special window in the village house, and the window features the blue fairy, and underneath it there is a wish book there.
Oh,
Yeah, and you can write your wish inside that book. And the only reason I know about it is because I'm huge on Disney TikTok. And there was this one TikTok video where they were discussing fun and clever ways to propose to your partner at Disney. And the way that they talked about in that video was taking them to the Pinocchio's village house, writing, I wish that blank, whoever you are in love with, would marry me, and then taking their partner over to show them the book. And when they read it, you get down on one knee and you propose. I have not been able to
Cool.
find it. I want to find it. So looks like we're going to Pinocchio's next trip because I'm
That's
going to
neat.
find it.
that would be cool. And
Yeah.
that sounds like a podcast topic down the road of maybe
Hidden magic.
hidden magic or exploring in greater detail some of these things that we've heard about but never seen at
Yeah.
different venues,
Cool.
like
And
that
just
one.
and by looking at some of the pictures of it that are online, because all you need to do is Google Pinocchio Village House Wish Book and it will come up. It looks like it might be upstairs.
Okay.
We'll
Well,
have
then
to
we
check
got to go
for it.
look for it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to
Yep,
go look for it.
definitely gotta go look for it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good choice, Sophie.
Very good.
Thank you.
Well, my
Oh,
next one has an address of 1787.
oh, I know which one it is.
Yep, it's a
Oh.
big house.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Hmm.
the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah. Are you
And
going
the
to tell
address is
us
the 1787 because that's when the Constitution was signed.
exactly?
Oh.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's right. The Declaration of Independence was 1776.
hmm
Right.
Yep, and the Constitution was 1787. I love the Hall of Presidents.
And that might be your background picture.
Yep.
You just never know unless you're watching YouTube. So that's mine. The Hall of Presidents. I know some people go in there to sleep. I have never fallen asleep in there. I
Me
really like it.
neither. Me neither.
Neither
I
have
But it
always
is air
like
I.
it.
conditioned, so if you're gonna go and it's in the summertime, go in the heat of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, the carpet with the seal of the United States
Yeah.
in carpet with the barricade around it.
Yeah.
Didn't I hear that is like one of two places where you can see that carpet. It's a special it was specially presented to Disney to be at the Hall of Presidents by the United States government.
I did
Um,
not hear that. That's
and
Yeah.
interesting.
but that's why it has the fencing around it, because it's not to be stepped on.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I read that somewhere, and maybe it's an urban myth or urban legend. Um, but I think I had heard that, and I think that's why it has the fencing around it, so people can't just walk right all over it and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but that's a great choice, Brenda.
Thank you.
Great choice. Um, for me, the next one on my list is currently not available, and hopefully it will not be in that way for much longer. Um, but one of the things that I like about Adventureland, especially in that area where um, you've got the magic carpets of Aladdin, and you got the tiki room in that area, that big open area. One of the things that we've got there that's kind of a play off of the magic carpets of Aladdin is the Agrabah Bazaar. And the Agrabah Bazaar is where I bought my Mickey Safari hat um,
Ah,
years ago,
Ah.
and I still have that hat, and it's really cool. I use it now to put the pins that I don't trade. I put it on
oh,
the brim
cool.
of the hat, um, and it's a cool souvenir that I've kept for a long time. But I got it there, and it's just a neat open air kind of market scene setting where you can do a little shopping and find some really unique souvenirs. So the Agrabah Bazaar is Agrabah, I guess I'm saying it wrong,
Agrabah.
is on my list, and right now it still says temporarily unavailable, but hopefully that will not be for much longer.
Yeah.
So
Hey, very good.
that's on my list for number 7.
All right. I guess that means it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I said that Prince Charming's Regal Carousel was not on my list.
Yeah.
And it's not, but there is something in front of it that is on my list, and it's something that I very much love the nod to, and that would be the Sword and the Stone and Anvil.
Oh
That
yeah.
I love the movie The Sword and the Stone. I love how it does not even focus around the sword and the stone until like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and instead talking about Arthur and his quest to find his self-worth and get an education. And it's a wonderful movie, and I love that they found a way to pay a nod to it because there is no other mention of it anywhere else in the entire park.
Yeah.
But it deserves to have a place because it's truly fantastical. It's the OG fairy tale in my opinion, because all of the other fairy tales that Disney has talked about have probably been from the Brothers Grimm, which was written far after the events of The Sword and the Stone took place. So
Okay.
I just really like it. It's one of my favorites.
Well,
Awesome.
good. Good choice, Sophie.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it's cool because you see kids to this day,
Trying to pull it out.
you can't walk by there and not see someone trying to pull the sword out of the stone. You know, you
Yep.
just can't.
Yep.
And that's really cool because it's still got popularity to this day, even though
Yeah.
it's 50 years old, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
So good choice, Sophie. Good choice.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Well, I
Oh,
am going to pop to some windows in Liberty Square. And
love
things that are in
Oh.
the windows, like for instance, the lantern that's in the window to symbolize the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere.
You know what?
Awesome.
I only just learned about that.
Really?
I was
Yeah,
there was a
those
YouTube
little
video.
touches.
There was a YouTube video that I was watching and it was talking about the secrets of Disney World that you probably didn't know. And I did not know about that window until it told me about it.
So
Yep,
let's
it's
have
pretty
Brenda
cool.
tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, it's just, I mean, that particular one has the lantern in it for the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And then there's a different window that has a rifle like leaning up in it. And this is what's funny for me. And, probably because the day and age we're in. But the one with the rifle in it symbolizes that the man is home from war and at home to protect his home and his family. That is
Uh-huh.
what that symbolized. Well, then if he's gone to war, everybody knows he's not home. I mean, what? What? Like, why would you want people to know you're not there?
Well, that's true.
I think back
That's
in
true.
that point in time,
Everyone was off to war
yeah, and
that
I
had a
think
guy
back
there.
in
Yes.
I think back in that day, people had a certain expectation to be good in that time, and it was generally higher than it is now.
Yeah, that's good, but yeah. I think I would have used a prop and
Yeah,
and just kept it there all the time. But I'm sure there was a reason, and there because Disney does things, authentically. They did that because that is the way it was, and everything is so authentic. And that's one of the
Yeah.
things I love about Liberty Square is the attention to detail is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
yeah,
Even how the shutters like hang, they're not like straight and they
Hmm.
kind of hang because they used to have them on like uh leather straps, and leather kind of changes over
stretches.
time, and and so everything like that is it's just neat to look at. I mean,
Yeah,
so great how they just try to do everything so authentically.
yeah, and
Yeah.
So
if I
that's
may,
mhm.
if I may add on, I actually know of one more window, like, are we calling it Easter eggs or are we calling it nods? I don't know. But there is one more window in Liberty Square that I did learn about from the video I was talking about that taught me about the lanterns, and it's a window that has a doll in the window. And that doll was placed there to signify to firefighters that a
Oh, that a
child
child
lives.
lives in there. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so that if there
That's
was a fire
cool.
in that house, that they would know there's a child in that house, we need to act even more quickly than we always do.
Yeah.
That is interesting, especially since I'm a firefighter's daughter and a firefighter's mother.
Yeah,
That was very smart.
That's
yeah,
cool. Good
Yeah.
choice. Good.
Another way times have changed because we wouldn't want people to know where our children are in our house now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting, Sophie. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good number. Good number 8 on
Yay.
there.
Yeah.
So my next one, um, it's a toss up between these last three. So I am going to give number 8 is Aloha Isle, right
Mm.
outside, right outside of the Enchanted Tiki Room. I just think we don't eat there very often, but if you want some ice cream and if you want a Dole Whip, you can go to Sunshine, but you can also get it there. And you can get various things there that is on a hot day. There ain't nothing better than some soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, there you go.
So Aloha Isle is on my list. That's my next one that I like about Adventureland. So
Great. Great choice. Yum. Anything
Yeah.
food related, I'm all for it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yay. Good choice. What is your next one, Sophie?
My next one, oh wow, we're already on number 9. My
Yay.
next one is Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Oh, I love Mickey's
Nice.
Yeah.
PhilharMagic.
Yep.
I went through rewriting this list a couple times, and originally Mickey's PhilharMagic was not there. But as I got to thinking about it more, I realized I really, really like Mickey's PhilharMagic. I like Donald, I like Mickey, I like all the movies that were referenced in there, and I like that they added Coco to it now.
Yep.
Yeah. And that Coco scene is so cool.
It is
And
such a well
Absolutely.
it's
done.
such a
Just
seamless. Yeah.
I know it's
Mhm.
crazy how they can do that.
You wouldn't have if if you didn't what
You didn't know
okay.
they added it in later. Yeah,
Yeah, if you didn't see it before it was there and you didn't know that they added it in, you would never have guessed that it was a new addition to it.
that's true. It's completely seamless.
Yeah,
I love the story I'm about to tell. Sorry, Sophie.
you're fine.
It involves Sophie, obviously. I
Mhm.
love how at the end, when Donald shoots out of the tuba and he comes through the screen and he comes into the back of the wall, and
Uh-huh.
you see him,
Flailing around back there.
flailing around, and then at the end he falls in. And
Yep.
I love how Sophie, who loved Donald Duck as a 6 and 7 year old, she absolutely adored him. Every time we saw Donald, we were getting a picture with Donald. It didn't matter how many times we'd had a picture with Donald, we were getting one. And I love how she turned around and she said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Donald, are you all right?" And
Aw.
everyone around us just started chuckling a little bit,
Oh,
and it was so
cute.
cute because Sophie
Aw,
was so worried about Donald being hurt.
Oh,
that's so cute.
It's so adorable, and that is
Aw.
one of those memories that is up there for all time and will never disappear.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
so that's what I love about PhilharMagic is,
Yay.
the emotion it brings out in your little children,
Yep, for
hmm.
sure.
and I love the
Yeah.
music. I love the music and the scenes and everything about it. So that is an underrated attraction, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so good. Another place to be when in the heat of the day for sure too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great choice.
All right,
All
Brenda,
right.
number 9.
Well, we're going to stick with the authenticity at Disney and we're going to go with the orange and light brown paint that was used to make the sewage run through Liberty Square. Because back in the Revolutionary time, there was no bathroom. They had no bathroom, so they used to throw their sewage out into the street. Thank God that Disney did not feel that there was a need for any smell-o-vision kind of thing around there because I would not be able to go to Liberty Square. But the fact
No,
that the road is they made it so authentically for that era is awesome. And another thing is and Mike alluded to this earlier, you cannot find restrooms anywhere in Liberty Square. So if you're
Yeah.
going to go to the restroom, you need to go to the Tangled restrooms over there beyond Haunted Mansion. But there is a restroom located in Columbia Harbor House, but the restroom location in Columbia Harbor House is actually sitting in Fantasyland.
just like Tangled is too.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yep. So it's not like you're having to walk. The good thing is you're not having to walk 20 miles
right.
to find a bathroom,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but technically it's not in Liberty Square.
that's right. That's right.
So,
But it
but
is a
yeah,
small bathroom, so it really is for patrons of the restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
Tangle one is big enough and it's kind of cool
It's
because
super
you've
cool
got the
area.
tower and one of the games we don't find them all, but one of the games is finding all the Pascals to see how many Pascals you can find,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
I found out that there is one that I've missed, and I think I know where it is now.
So,
There's only one we've missed too, and it just keeps eluding us. It's driving us
Is it the
nuts.
one that looks like it's part of a tree?
I don't remember.
I know that there's one that I have not found before that is really able to blend in with this tree. It's painted like the bark. You wouldn't even notice it unless you were looking
Ooh,
really
we need to
hard.
look when we go.
Yeah, there are 10 total.
We need to look when we go and see if we can find that one that keeps just eluding us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's down the road. Well, that's something to look at
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
Number 9 on my list is actually something that I want to try, and it's not something I think I've ever had. Um, but I want to eat at Tortuga Tavern, which
Oh, fun.
I've never been there, and I was looking at it the other day, and I saw that it's quick service, and it's got like hot dogs and stuff like that, and I'm like, what a great little spot. Just if you're waiting for the line to die down, or if you're wanting to, if you just rode Pirates and you want to grab something, there's a little quick service right there. And I think I get confused about it because we're right around that area. We're so close from leaving Adventureland and entering Frontierland, and there's almost on that side of it, to me anyway, it feels like there's no real delineation from when you're leaving Adventureland and entering Frontierland. And so to me they kind of run together a little bit. Um, and because of that, I think I always thought that Pecos Bills was part of Adventureland when it's really part of Frontierland. So so I think that's why I just always skip by Tortuga, because they're all this right near each other, and it's probably
Right.
got the same kitchen or something like that. So
Yeah.
um so anyway, that's just something I want to, get a hot dog from there and just see what I
That
Yeah.
think
sounds
of it,
like a
you
plan.
know?
Yeah.
So that's number 9.
Yay.
All right.
So
All right. Sophie's
coming
on number
down to the
10.
final one.
Number 10. And this one is the one that I love most of all. And admittedly, when I first thought of this, I was like, is Cinderella's castle part of Main Street or Fantasyland?
It's
But
Fantasyland.
yeah, we've decided that it's Fantasyland. And so the thing that I like the most about Fantasyland is the tunnel that you take through Cinderella's castle, and it shows you all of the mosaics that depict
Hmm.
Cinderella's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It is
beautiful.
so beautiful, and I love them so much. I love the portrayal of her that they put in the murals because it's not the classic Cinderella from the 1950s that you know. It is a completely different style, and it is, whew, it truly shows the fantasy and grandeur of the fairy tale itself.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
Those mosaics are
Beautiful.
really cool. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think Disney saw how much people liked the mosaic, and that's, I think, why over at Riviera you've got the mosaic
Oh, yeah,
from
those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Tangled. That is another great
Yeah, and they light
mosaic,
up.
you
Those are
know.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's a good choice, Sophie. That's a good
Yay.
closer.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
My
And I'm
closer
gonna
won't be anywhere near as good, but we're not to be
Oh.
yet. We're at Brenda.
well, I'm gonna close out with the Liberty Bell replica. I like
Yes.
the Liberty
Oh
Bell
yeah.
replica that sits over there at Liberty Square. So that's,
I love that. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I like that.
yeah.
That little area, that whole little area right there, which is where we usually sit to watch the parade.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So that's
That's
my number
that
10 is the Liberty Bell replica.
Yes.
well, my number 10, picture this. You're on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You've got a little. You're halfway. You just finished the drop. And your little says, "Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom."
No.
And you're like, well, hold it because we're on the ride and we can't stop the ride. And they hold it. The beauty is you come out of the Pirates, you turn left, 2 feet away is a set of bathrooms for Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go.
And you don't have to wait in the long line of the cut through bathrooms that cut through to Frontierland. You've got this one right over here, and it's almost secluded.
Yeah.
It's very quiet. I don't think many people know it's there. If you're looking for a restroom, think about that one because it's almost hidden. And it is a great spot if you need to go to the bathroom. So
Yep. Very
number
convenient.
10 is the bathrooms by the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Awesome.
Oh,
That's
Daddy.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
But it is what it is. And those sorts of things happen. And
Yeah.
don't forget about that one.
Yay.
I
Just
don't know.
like that one is similar to me is like the bathroom over just beyond the Friar's Nook where the Cheshire Cat is. That
Yeah.
set of bathrooms there is almost, I think, is fairly far enough back that many people don't even realize it's there.
Yeah.
And so, and you got tables so you can even sit outside and wait while people are in the bathroom. So there you go. Like I
Awesome.
said, Sophie's number 10 was a great closer. Brenda had a great closer. And I've got the
Close them with a restroom. All right. There you
It's
go.
okay.
There you go.
I guess we can also talk about the fact that for the 50th anniversary, you guys were cooling off after writing Pirates of the Caribbean, and I told you I would be right back. I guess you thought I was going to those bathrooms. Well, when I came back, I had this $50 tiara on my head and the most guilty grin I've probably ever had. And you were like, what on earth did you do? And I was like, Jagan is going to kill me when she found out I spent $50 on a tiara. And she didn't, but I thought she was.
Well,
Because
it's
we
your
all know.
money. So
Yeah, but Jagan is very particular about finances.
yeah. So is Sophie though. But anyway, yeah.
And
So
Sophie just bought a tiara.
yeah. So that shopping area in the Pirates is pretty cool too because it does have a lot of neat stuff like Sophie's tiara.
Yep.
Yeah. And
But
for the record, I am going to be wearing that tiara on my birthday.
okay. Well, there you go. So anyway, that is our feature topic this week. Next week, we've got Brenda is talking about Tomorrowland. Sophie is talking about Frontierland.
Mm-hmm.
And I am talking about Main Street USA.
Awesome.
And
Yay!
the 10 things we like about each of those lands.
Yay.
So I hope everyone has enjoyed this feature topic. And now it is time for Sophie's This Day in Disney History for May 2nd. So take it away, kiddo.
All right. This one was extremely special to me. And this takes place all the way back in 1964. May 2nd, 1964, Disney's 4th World's Fair exhibit, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, finally makes its New York debut after weeks of technical problems.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there were other attractions that were at the World's Fair besides the Carousel of Progress and It's a Small World.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was those two. There was Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Yeah.
And there was a car type exhibit that was sponsored by Ford, I think.
Probably what became Autopia?
Maybe.
I think so.
I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, there were several things that you got to keep in mind. You're looking at Disneyland has been open 9 years and it was a huge. It became such a huge destination. Everyone was like, Walt Disney, what can you do for us? Can you do this? And he's like, yeah, I can do this. I can do that. We can do this. And he had the team that could pull it off, So,
Yeah.
well, I'm not. I want to make sure everyone remembers that last week I stumped the Soph.
Oh, only once. Only
You're not going to do it again.
I have zero expectation of doing so again. This character, I think we all love this character.
There are a lot of characters I love.
Yeah. This character is ever faithful and never speaks.
Dopey.
Hmm?
Dopey.
No.
What?
It's not Dopey.
Pluto?
It is
Dumbo?
Pluto. Brenda got it. You go, Pluto. You go, Brenda.
Wow.
Yay, Brenda. Can't stump the Brenda either.
No, you can always stump the Brenda. It's just that, I've been a Mickey fan my entire life, so,
I'll read you the whole thing, and the next clue was going to be that this character is very clear about his feelings and he's fiercely protective. And the last clue was that this character has a particular dislike for cats. That was going to be the giveaway, I think.
Yeah.
But it says here, Pluto is Mickey Mouse's ever faithful pup. Although he never speaks, Pluto is always very clear about his feelings. Friendly, loyal, and fiercely protective of Mickey, Pluto is also rather mischievous. When he gets into trouble, he, quote, apologizes, end quote, by sheepishly putting his tail between his legs. Pluto also has a particular dislike for cats, especially Minnie's cat, Figaro. He's been known to chase Figaro as well as Chippendale, but most of the time, Pluto is a very good dog.
Very
so
good.
That's my Who's Who character. And
Gotta
the
love
new
Pluto.
name of the show is Stump the Brenda.
No. You can always stump the Brenda. That is not hard.
What? Am I
If I had
suddenly
the
getting
knowledge
kicked
Sophie
out of my
has-
own game?
No, you're
If I
not
had
getting
the knowledge
kicked out.
Sophie has, I would be just walking on clouds over here. Telling you.
Well,
So,
I don't have the
well,
with for all the knowledge Sophie has there.
but you know what
well.
you do have? You do have a little bit of Walt.
I do have a
Yeah.
little bit of Walt. We all do, thank God.
Yeah.
Yes. So give us a little bit of Walt, Brenda.
Well, this is another one about children. I've been focusing on those lately, not on purpose, but it just happens that way. A child is helpless in choosing what is to be engraved on his mind during the formative years. The awesome responsibility is assumed for better or worse by us adults. Today, we are shapers of the world of tomorrow. That is the plain truth. There is no way we conduct the responsibility, and there is no reason except sloth and cowardice why we should.
Yeah.
Walt Disney, the man.
The man.
Absolutely. That is, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I don't know when he made that quote.
Timely,
But-
isn't it?
He could have said that if he were around now. He could have said that yesterday, and it would be so perfect. But the fact that he said this probably in the early 60s or in the 50s, and it's still perfect.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is a timeless quote.
Yeah.
So thank you, Walt, for that quote. And
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Walt.
Brenda. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Brenda, for sharing it, because
You're welcome.
that's a big time quote. That is something we need to remember.
Yep, for sure.
What an honor it is to be a parent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a responsibility.
And a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, that wraps us up for this week. We hope you have had a great week and a great time on our episode this week. We hope you have a great week coming up. And as always, she's Sophie, that's Brenda, he's Grogu, and I'm Mike. And we will
see you on the road.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.